What's going on, guys? Josh here with For the Love of Games, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Final Fantasy VII Remake once again. This is going to be my full review video, and as a warning, there will be spoilers in this video, so depending on where you're at in the game, you may or may not want to watch this video. So pull up a chair, sit back and relax, and let's talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's go! The first thing we're going to take a look at here today is the story. And while the story here is pretty much the same, there was a lot added to it. The way you have to look at it here is that it's a retelling of the original. Back then there were some technical limitations, and for the time Final Fantasy VII was an absolute masterpiece in video game history. The storytelling back then was great, even though it was limited due to the fact that we had to read everything that was going on. Here, that's not really the case. The story can be told in a much different way, and it is told in a much different way. The story being redone doesn't make the game horrible, or make the original story invalid. It just feels like that this is the way they wanted the original to be, but just couldn't do it at the time. And I'm okay with that. The one thing I'm not okay with, and many people feel the same way, is the fact that it is Midgar only. For many people, including myself, the story really doesn't start until you get out of Midgar and into the open world, so you can start exploring every nook and cranny to see what the game has to offer. The Midgar part of the story is pretty linear in both the original and the remake, but once you're out there, man, does it open up. But even though it's linear and Midgar only, I feel like we did get a solid game, and if you take your time and look around, you can see that you're more engaged in the story as a player, even if the game's story can be a bit confusing at times. One of the additions they made to the game are the Whispers, who really remind me of the Dementors from the Harry Potter series. They get in your way at times, and they also appear to be a nuisance, but their role in the game and in the story is invaluable. Their job is to keep the fate of the heroes in check. So if one of our heroes is making a decision that would change the course of their fate, the Whispers would intervene and not allow that character to do whatever it is they're trying to do. And if someone dies an untimely death by the hands of someone that wasn't supposed to kill them, the Whispers will intervene and revive that person, so that way they can continue living out the predetermined fate that was laid out before them. The other addition here is that they are mixing two of the franchise's stories. They are taking the Crisis Core storyline and adding it into this game, and playing it out as if they were alternate timelines. You're playing one version of Cloud, while there is another version of him existing in a completely different story arc and version of Midgar at the same time. You can see a lot of this in Cloud's flashbacks, while some of them are about what has happened to him in his past. As you near the end of the game, he starts having visions of another life he had lived out while being in Soldier, with his Soldier alter ego, Zack Fair. This is one aspect of the game I'm a little on the fence about, but I'll let you make your own opinions on that one. As the story goes on, you really see that they really did start fleshing out the entire world a lot more, and you can not only see it, but you can feel it too. And while it has to revolve around Cloud, Sephiroth, Shinra, and Avalanche, I really want to see how they take these two different story timelines and meld them together into one cohesive story, even though it does feel a little confusing and a little out of place here at times. Alright, let's get into the meat of the game. The battle system in this game is something that has been in debate since the game's release. People have been even talking about it online since the demo, with some even saying that it's too far departed from the original game. While it is more action oriented, in my opinion, I think it suits the game in this new format. The turn-based classic is still there, even if it is hidden under a coat of polish. Ability and spell selection is there, as well as the ATB gauge. And even in my playthrough in classic mode, once you're in the menu system, the action seems to slow down or even completely stop, giving you time to think about what you want to do and how to make your next move. Which I think is a nice little touch in how they took the classic game and made it more modern. And like I touched on in my last video, items are in abundance and scattered throughout every area of the game. Just look around a little bit and you'll find them. Materia also makes a return, and you can find it here and there in the wild. You also get a new weapon customization system as well. As you use the weapons and level up the party members, new weapon abilities are available which you can use points to unlock. Some of the choices here either allow you to unlock more base power or more basic attack power, or you can unlock more magic ability power. You can even unlock new materia slots as well, which can definitely come in handy. And with this new option, you can basically use the same weapons throughout the game and keep upgrading them, which for me was great since I really did not want to depart with the Buster Sword. They also fixed the stiff and pretty clunky controls of the motorcycle battle as well. Gone are the clunky controls of the past, and in come the buttery smooth motorcycle experience I've always wanted in this game. While the combat system here is still up for debate, playing through the game is still fun and at times challenging, and I really like what they did here with the combat system. Item and weapon shops are still in the game too, though I feel like they were not as useful as they could have been. With items and material being scattered throughout the world, and with the addition of the weapon upgrade system, the shops almost feel out of place in a way. Like they're just there to take up space or sell you collectibles. Speaking of collectibles, the music in this game is absolutely fantastic, and you can even go around the world collecting music from different vendors in these little jukebox versions of them, which you can then go back to many of the jukeboxes that are scattered throughout the world and play all these songs back. Even after completing the game, I find myself going back to the 7th Heaven and playing some of these songs, my favorite being Hip Hop the Chocobo. I'm not a hip hop fan by any means, but I am a sucker for anything Chocobo, so seeing a song like this included into the game just melts my heart a little bit, and it's almost comical at times. All of the music in the game has been redone, and it's absolutely fantastic, especially when you start hearing the remade versions of a classic song from the original game. They also added a few other things to the game. One of the additions is Minigames. If you want to add a little variety to your gameplay, you can go into the 7th Heaven and play some darts. It's a simple little minigame in which you are trying to get the highest score possible and use the fewest darts as possible. And after the minigame is done, you can compare your score to the rest of the Avalanche team and see how you did. It's simple yet fun, and I like to see how high of a score I can actually get. The other addition here is the side quests. While these may be a little bit of a diversion from the main game, they do make you feel a bit accomplished, and make you feel like you're helping out in the slums, helping somebody out when they're down. One of these side quests is helping out a girl who lost her friends, and her friends turn out to be cats. So you're going around the slums chasing cats to bring it back to the girl. This is a little bit different from the monster killing that you're used to doing, but after you're done you definitely feel a little bit better about yourself. And you just made a little girl's day. What can be better than that? A lot of people are going to want to know, how long is it going to take me to finish this game? How long did they actually make this game last? Well, for me, it took me about 22 hours to get through this game from front to back. And that was just running through the main story of the game. Your mileage may vary here, depending on how you decide to play the game. If you want to do the mini games and the side quests, go for it. That's the beauty of this game. You can basically do whatever you want, whenever you want. So explore, have fun, enjoy the game, take it all in. Experience the game the way you want to experience it. Now, the voice acting in this game is another area where I give the developers a lot of praises for. They really nailed it here with the performances that the voice actors brought to the table. It brings a whole other dynamic to the game and engages you more deeply with the story. Barrett has to be one of my favorite ones here. Even in the original, while you were reading the speech bubbles, you could tell he was a "I don't really care what you have to say, you're either with us or against us" kind of guy. The way they depict him in the remaster with the voice acting is how I imagine he would have sounded in the original. Even as gruff as they made Barrett seem, they show off his soft side, especially when it comes to Marlene.
Welcome back.
Have you been a good girl?
Yeah, I've been helping Tifa.
Oh, you did you? Well, well.
I like that they added this little nugget of character development. Even with Cloud, he is cold and calculated and really doesn't care about anything. But as the story goes on, you start to see how he changes, and all that is depicted through the voice acting. Big kudos to the voice actors and the developers to be able to pull this off. Overall, this is a fantastic remake of a great game. Yes, I am a bit disappointed that it's only the Escape from Midgar section of the game, but what we get here is fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do in the next games in the remake. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle the storyline and how they handle the other parts of the game once you get into the open world. In a way, I'm almost hoping that they go a little more open world style with it, something akin to the Elder Scrolls series or even Breath of the Wild. But then again, it wouldn't be Final Fantasy VII anymore, would it? Nevertheless, I am excited to see the rest of the games in the series, and here's to hoping that they don't take forever to be released. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Making this video really has me wanting to play the next part of the game. I can't wait to see how they handle places like the Gold Saucer and Nibelheim. I hope I didn't spoil the game too much for anybody, but there were certain things I definitely want to talk about in this one. If you like what you saw here, please be sure to smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification bell to see more from Full of Love Games. If you want to check us out on social media, be sure to check out the Full of Love Games Facebook page. Also, there's a Discord chat channel as well, so you can talk about anything from tech, gaming, anime, comic books, or if you just want to talk about pop culture, then FTLOG Discord is the place for you. Links will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm Josh, signing out. Have a great day.